All right, so my name's Ingrid and I'm a Reiki master and a holistic therapist. I also do holistic wellness coaching. I'm a yoga teacher and a meditation teacher as well. And I've been living this life for over 20 years. I'm from the UK, as you can probably hear from my accent. And I used to be a lawyer. And about 20 years ago, I realized there was a lot more to life than, just gaining this material wealth and focusing on career. And I bought a one-way ticket to India, and since then I haven't looked back. So I've been studying, researching, practicing, and generally just trying to work out how all these modalities can join together to help us really enjoy our experience as humans on this beautiful planet. I think we all get carried away sometimes with life and often forget to enjoy ourselves. And for me, chakras and crystals go so well together, and they're a very simple way for us to find out what's going on in our life and why we're behaving, acting, reacting in the ways we are, and why we have physical, emotional, and mental kind of diseases and imbalances. I believe that everything can be found in a chakra system, and one of the easiest, most beautiful ways to balance the chakras is using crystals. So these two modalities together go hand in hand, and are a really enjoyable way of just getting life back on track, back in flow, assessing what's going on in our life before it becomes too difficult. So finding those subtle signs through awareness and having the information so that we don't have to then suffer on a harder level. So I'll begin the presentation, and as I said, please do ask any questions, make statements, share stories whenever you feel like it. Just unmute yourself. You don't need to put up the hand symbol, just unmute yourself and ask away. All right then, so first of all, I'm sure any of you that have plugged in this evening probably already know a little bit about chakras, but I believe more information is better than too little. So I will go through a little bit about the chakra system. So what we know are that chakras are a translation from the Sanskrit word, which means wheel or wheel of energy. And we know these chakras are actually these swirling wheels of energy that align with our spine and run down the center line of our body. There's actually over 100 chakras, but for the work we do in our physical experience here, we only really need to deal with the 7 main chakras. And you can see on that little image there that that's a representation of the chakras and where they align on our body. So what fascinates me about chakras is that this information is ancient. It dates back thousands of years. Now, if you imagine life thousands of years ago, in India, in Asia, there weren't that many distractions. And so these ancient mystics, yogis, wisdom keepers, whatever we choose to call them, they actually could see energy in a way that today we just don't. We've basically unlearned how to see our subtle energy body. But what we do know from modern day science, such as Calcite photography and quantum mechanics, is that indeed they were correct in saying that we had a subtle body, and the location of the chakras and the frequency of the chakras. So when we do work with chakras, we're not only looking at this ancient system that was passed down verbally and then written down thousands of years ago, it's also being proven by science. So this is where spirituality and science completely align. And what's fascinating is where these ancient yogis placed the 7 main chakras on the physical body. We now know through science that they actually align quite accurately with massive nerve centers in the body. So it makes sense that these nerve centers are projecting energy or a frequency, because we know that the heart, the brain, the stomach, these nerve centers are constantly pushing out frequency. And we know that where the chakras are, certain frequencies are being pushed out, every chakra having a different frequency. And then this is where it becomes absolutely incredible. Every chakra actually represents a different part of our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual state of being at any particular time. And even though the chakras will change their flow, you know, they can be expanded, contracted, in balance or out of balance. What we do know is that when the chakras are in a state of flow and they're balanced, we find that we're in overall wellness and everything is good. Doors are opening in our lives. Mentally, we feel really strong. Emotionally, we're really stable. Physically, we have that physical strength. We're not suffering from disease, injury, or illness. And we feel connected rather than isolated. So the flow state of chakras has a direct effect on our life experience. And in my experience over the last years of working in holistic wellness, it's absolutely incredible how accurate the chakras are in analyzing, and I'm going to use the word diagnosing loosely, but certainly allowing us to see which areas of our life are out of balance and how that's kind of manifested in our physical, emotional, mental, and connection. So I truly believe that if we look at just the chakras, we can heal all aspects of our life. And so balancing chakras with crystals is one of the most beautiful ways to do it, in my opinion. I've been playing with crystals since I was a child. My mum's from Austria, where they have the quartz crystals in the mountains. She's from the Alps. And so these quartz crystals are everywhere in Austria. And so my house was filled with crystals. So they've always been around me and I've always been drawn to them. But then when I started more on this spiritual path and this path to becoming a therapist, I realized the power of crystals. And it's way too much information to go to in this very specific webinar. But basically every crystal has a different frequency. And so we can choose crystals that match the chakras in order to help them balance. And it's really simple to help balance your chakras with crystals. First of all, you need to learn the chakra traits. So what does each chakra represent in your physical life, your emotional life, your mental life, in your environment, in your connection to kind of the bigger picture, to the divine, or connected to the universe energy. And once we understand and learn these chakra traits, and that is the most important thing, all of my students that come on any of my courses, they hear me say this all the time: learn your chakras, because once you know this information, you can just pick out what's going on in your life, where things aren't flowing, and instantly just hit that chakra and learn to balance that particular chakra. And the results are sometimes instantaneous. And with a bit of work, you'll never have to go back to that out of flow state. And so life will continue to flow towards you and you'll feel good and happy and joyous and fulfilled. So once we've learned the chakra traits, the second step is to look at, am I seeing too much of these traits, too little of these traits, or am I missing these traits altogether in my experience? So you look how effectively, is my chakra underactive, overactive, or completely blocked? And then all we need to do is choose the crystals to address the specific issue that you're missing. And then once we've done that, we simply need to work with the crystals in different ways until those chakras are rebalanced. And I'm going to take you through each of these steps in this kind of mini webinar, in order for you to hopefully start using crystals to rebalance your life in general. So let's have a look at the chakra traits and the corresponding crystals, and then see how you feel. And you can maybe jot down some notes here and see whether or not your chakras are balanced or not. So very easy working with chakras at this level. All we have to do is know where the chakra is, the color of the chakra, and the corresponding crystal. Simple. Just remember the color of the rainbow. So the 7 chakras start from the root chakra, and that's placed at the base of the spine near the tailbone area. And like the rainbow, the color is red. The second chakra is near the pubic bone area. The color is orange. The third chakra, the solar plexus, is around the navel area. The color is yellow. The heart chakra, the color is green. The throat chakra, the color blue. The third eye is a purple indigo. And then the crown chakra, right on the top of our head, this is a violet or white light, like ultraviolet light. And so a very simple way to know which crystal to balance your chakra is just choose a crystal of the same color. And I'm going to take you through some very specific crystals now to hopefully help you make that choice. But in my experience of working with crystals, normally the crystal will choose you because there's many crystals of those colors. And you simply need to find the one that you're drawn to, choose that one, and it will help rebalance that chakra. So let me take you through some stuff now. So let's go through the root chakra. As I said, it's at the base of the spine and the color is red. Now, when I said about learning the chakra traits, I've listed some of the traits here. So the root chakra represents our life force energy. In fact, we're told that all our vital life force energy is actually stored in the root chakra, coming from the telluric earth energy. And so it represents strength. We also know it represents survival. So that real thing of being stable, safe, and also trust. We also know that an open, balanced root chakra really helps with prosperity and manifestation. So the root chakra is really connected to our physical life, our physical body, and the experience we're having. So if you're feeling unstable, if things aren't quite going smoothly for you, if you're having trouble trusting yourself, trusting in yourself, or trusting in others, it's usually a root chakra issue. If you physically feel totally lethargic, or you feel that you feel just heavy and sluggish, all these things are represented by the root chakra. So now what we need to do is look at these traits, work out which ones are not balanced in your life, and then choose a crystal that can help balance that trait. So I'll show you some examples now of crystals that will balance the root chakra. My favorite, one that I use in all my treatments actually, is red jasper. So what we know from red jasper and the frequency that it emits is that it will help balance certain aspects of your root chakra. And so red jasper will help with self-confidence, self-trust, courage, getting grounded, because one of the most common things I'm experiencing since I've been working here in Dubai is that people are ungrounded here. I have some theories. Maybe it's the shift in sands. But also we live off the ground. We all live, in apartments or work in tower blocks. We go, because of the heat, we go straight into a car. We don't actually connect with the ground, with the earth. So red jasper is great for grounding. We also know that red jasper helps us with stability, and it will also help the energy flow, because from the root chakra, the energy actually flows up a nadi, which is an energy line at the center of the spine, and helps activate the other chakras. So working on the root chakra will actually help you balance the other chakras, because it helps with the flow of energy. So if you're looking for any of these traits in your life, you simply need to grab a piece of red jasper, and it will help you get these traits into your life. Another stone I love for the root chakra is obsidian. Now, obsidian is an amazing stone. Not only is it really grounding, we also know that it's really good for protection. So if there are some trust issues, security issues, if you're just feeling a little bit unsafe in life, unsure in life, then we also know that obsidian will protect you from external elements. So, if you have to have, if you're in a job or a relationship or with family and you find it quite difficult sometimes, using obsidian, holding it, placing it on your table or in between you and the person that is, kind of affecting you in a negative way, it will actually protect you from their energy or from the situation's energy. It's a great one for self-trust, Obsidian, and we know that it will help you release negative energy, because sometimes when our root chakra isn't balanced, you know, we can be quite negative in the way that we're looking at ourselves physically, emotionally, mentally, feeling isolated and so on. So Obsidian is going to be a great one for you if you need any of these attributes that it provides. The third one I'm going to give you for the root chakra, my recommendation indeed, is bloodstone. So again, bloodstone's a great one for protection and energy flow. But what I love about bloodstone, it's a very determined stone. So it gives you endurance and determination. So if you are feeling a bit slow and sluggish and just can't get that motivation and get moving in life, or if you feel that life is stagnated and you just can't get, you know, can't go with the river, feel that you're just pushing the river and just can't get things done, the bloodstone will give you the power to push through those times. So a really nice stone to use. At the end, I'm going to show you several ways you can use these stones. So for now, just make a note of the traits of the chakra and any of the stones that appeal to you right now. So I'm going to move on now to the second chakra, which is the sacral chakra. And as I said, it's just above the pubic bone area and the color is orange. Now, what does the sacral chakra represent? Well, this is a biggie because it's basically our entire life experience is represented in the sacral chakra. It represents our emotions, relationships, family, intimacy, pleasure, creativity. In fact, it represents this face we put out to the world. So not this truth that we only keep for ourselves, that authentic us that we hold so dearly inside us and are afraid to show. This is the face we put out. So just looking at the representation of the sacral chakra, you can see how it has a massive effect if it's out of balance. So if you are finding yourself on a bit of an emotional roller coaster ride, if relationships aren't how you want them to be, and that you're having difficulty in intimate relationships or family relationships, in my experience, it's normally an imbalance in the sacral chakra. Also, if you're finding that you're just a little bit down in the dumps and you're not seeking these pleasures and making the effort and being motivated to go out and do things for yourself, it's usually the sacral chakra. Now, creativity is there. So the sacral chakra is a great one because it's all about dance, movement, flow. So, you know, it really allows us to express our creativity in this world, whatever that is for you. So if you feel at the moment that any of these are out of balance, let's have a look at some stones that can maybe help you bring it back into balance. So carnelian, this is my top go-to stone for the sacral chakra. And I love it because carnelian is also one of the cleansing stones. You can use carnelian to cleanse other crystals, which is quite a unique quality in stones. So carnelian has a multi-purpose. So carnelian's great for anyone who has fertility issues. So it's one I recommend for women trying to get pregnant or who have also menstrual problems and so on. As I said, the second chakra is creativity, and carnelian is one for that. So if any of you are a little bit blocked, whether it's something artistically creative, or if it's in work or in a project and you just feel like you've got a bit of a block somewhere, carnelian can help you get out of that block. We know also it's great for vitality, for getting that life, you know, kind of getting you back in flow and enthusiastic and really being able to create the life that you want and bring you the energy that you need to do that. Now, we all go through emotional roller coaster rides. Every therapist I know, we all go through them as well. So this is a great one to bring into your life if you do find yourself being a little bit emotional every now and then, maybe on an emotional roller coaster ride for something in particular, but also just if you're a bit of an empath or you take on other people's emotions or you can't control your emotions. So this is a great one also for children who maybe have temper tantrums or can't express themselves, or anyone you know who's like that. And also it has a very powerful healing effect on traumas. So past traumas can have tense effect on how we behave in our life. And because the second chakra is all about how we live and how we have relationships with other people, these traumas can really cause us issues in that respect. And so Carnelian is known to calm those reactions we have to past traumas and memories of traumas and fears about traumas as well. So Carnelian is a really great all-round stone. The second stone I'm recommending for the second chakra is tiger's eye. Now, interestingly, tiger's eye is also good for the solar plexus, the third chakra, but I've put it in here because it's one of my favorite stones, because it's absolutely beautiful. Any of you that have seen a tiger's eye, when you twist it, it actually has a glint like a cat's eye, hence the name. Very beautiful stone to work with as well, because it brings a lot of happiness. We also know that it's classed as one of the lucky stones. So if you feel like you're a bit down on your luck at the moment, just grab the piece of tiger's eye. That will certainly attract more luck into your experience. Again, another protecting stone. If you think about the eye of the tiger, right? Who's going to come close to you if you've got that vision and that ability to see clearly what's going on, and not allow anyone to come from any side, but being really focused. So it's a great protective stone. It also helps overcome fear and anxiety, which, you know, the basis of most of our emotional roller coaster rides. So allowing you to overcome that fear, and then the anxiety, which is the second layer under the fear, will bring you much more into balance, and again, bring you back into a more happy state of being. It also helps us connect to the present moment, which I think most of us are guilty of, is always living in the past or in the future. And we know that the past is gone. There's nothing we can do about it. And in fact, we don't even remember the past exactly as it is. It's just our memory of the past, where other details we've just dismissed. So it's even a false memory, if you want to be very specific about it, and yet we hold on to it. It causes us so much worry. And then the future, which hasn't happened, and anything can happen in between, and yet we hold on to this future worry as well. So tiger's eye is great for anyone who is looking to be a lot more present in the moment, who is practicing mindfulness, just bringing yourself back to the only truth we know, which is right now in this minute. Tiger's eye is also known to help with creativity. So again, any creative blocks, tiger's eye will vibrate at a frequency that will help you regain that clarity on where you need to go with your projects, and so on. And then finally, orange calcite. Now, this is a great stone because the color is so vibrant. Again, it represents vitality and happiness. But that color, just looking at it, right, it's optimistic. It like makes me smile looking at that color. It's a really beautiful, vibrant, bright orange. We know that it has specific traits that will provide you with a bit more self-awareness. So rather than playing the blame game or the shame game, it allows us to come more deeply inside so that we're more aware of how we're treating ourselves and how we're treating others and how we're reacting in life, and taking responsibility for that, which is the most important thing. Because once we take responsibility through self-awareness, then we can actually change our actions and reactions. And then again, life becomes just a nicer place to be. And orange calcite is great for the emotions. So again, you can grab a piece of orange calcite if you need a bit of help with your emotional health too. So let me move on then to our third chakra. So our third chakra is the solar plexus chakra. It's located at the navel. Now, I'm being very, very general where it's located because I've studied a lot of different yogas and energy healing practices, and different schools put the solar plexus at different places, some above the belly button, some below the belly button. So just around the navel area is a general place where the solar plexus chakra is. The color is a beautiful bright yellow. Now, the solar plexus chakra is quite masculine in its traits. It represents willpower, bravery, courage, decision-making, all those stereotypical kind of masculine energy traits. It's all about determination, power, but it's also about vulnerability, which really is the flip side of bravery. So it allows us to get things done in life. And let's have a look at some of the crystals we can use. So if you're lacking any of these things, if you feel like you're pushing the river, you're not flowing with the river, you're overwhelmed with decision-making, you feel responsible for decision-making, if you feel that you just don't know which path to take, you can't get motivated, your willpower's lacking, it's your solar plexus chakra, solar plexus chakra for sure. So let's have a look how crystals can help you guys with that. So again, I put my favorite first again, citrine. Citrine is one of my favorite stones to work with. It's a really light lemony color, mostly. They can get quite dark as well, but it's got a real clarity to it. So it's not an opalized stone at all. It's very clear, so you can almost see through. It's quite transparent, so that gives us a lot of clarity. And then with clarity, we're able to make those decisions a lot more confidently, and then have the willpower to carry through with our plan to reach our goals. It's a great one for self-confidence and self-esteem, which in my experience is often why we don't carry through our plans, why we just leave them there, have lots of ideas, but then actually don't do anything about them. It's also a very happy stone. We know that it does draw a frequency of happiness and optimism. So anyone looking for the power to push through something at the moment, this is a great go-to stone for that. Amber, a little bit more expensive, and do pay attention to amber because there's a lot of fake amber on the market. So amber actually is quite an expensive stone in comparison to the other ones I've mentioned. If you find amber and it's super cheap, it's probably fake. So amber is absolutely stunning, and it comes in a variety of colors, from a bright yellow into a deeper like honey yellow. Absolutely beautiful. One of the oldest crystals actually, and it was amber found many thousands of years ago, is the first stone we know to have been used by ancient civilizations for adorning themselves and for ceremonies and rituals. So it's probably one of the oldest used crystals by humanity. And what we know about amber is when we work with the stone, it actually gives us a lot of motivation and drive. But more than that, it brings us into focus, so we don't get distracted when we need to get something done. Again, a good stone for confidence. And what I love about it is it's quite purifying. So it will help you kind of get into the nitty-gritty of stuff and release anything that's not serving you in respect of your goals, desires, dreams, or the focus of your attention. And it does make me giggle a little bit because it calms a fiery personality, and I'm a double Sagittarius, so working with amber is very good for me as well. With that fire sign. So a lovely stone to work with, very beautiful, and you can find some incredible pieces of amber around to work with. And then another one I've put in here for that chakra, for the third chakra, is pyrite. Now, pyrite's an interesting stone. It's got another name, and it's called fool's gold. And you'll see why it's called fool's gold, because look at it, it does look like a piece of gold, and it is found in similar areas to real gold. So a lot of the prospectors used to dig up pyrite and think they'd found gold and had their riches, but unfortunately not. It's quite a common and inexpensive stone. So pyrite's amazing. It's very strong, and I do recommend next time you're at Illuminations, come and pick up a piece of pyrite. We've got some great pieces there. It really has a vibration like no other. And then some days I actually don't want to go near it because I find it quite a strong stone. So what that means is it's great when you need willpower and determination. When you have a situation where you need to be persuasive, so perhaps a meeting or a difficult conversation, or you're in negotiations with something, this stone is a great one to work with. It gives you complete strength of mind. You work with pyrite and you are sure of what you're doing. And it gives you that awareness as well. So that awareness of knowing what is the best direction of something. And as I said before, the energy from pyrite is really interesting. It's a very energizing stone. So as I said, when you come to Illuminations next, please do pick up a piece. It's a very interesting one to hold. So any questions so far? Alrighty, let me go on. We have a few more chakras to get to. So let's look at the next one, the heart chakra. So we know that the heart chakra is in the center of the heart, of course, and the color is green, and it represents love, compassion, acceptance, forgiveness, sincerity, loving kindness, all those beautiful high vibration kind of spiritual traits, the traits that we really want to cultivate from us and within our life. So the heart chakra is one of the most important chakras to balance because it is the central chakra. And what we know is that once the heart chakra is balanced, it can also help to balance the lower three and the upper three chakras as well. So coming into the heart chakra is kind of a one-stop if you don't have much time, with the intention to balance the entire line of chakras. So let's have a look at 3 of my favorite stones to work with for the heart chakra. So the first stone, this has got to be like one of everyone's most favorite stones, the rose quartz. One of the most pretty stones we have, a beautiful pink color, and it provides us with self-love, forgiveness, and that's important to recognize forgiveness for ourselves as well as others and situations. It helps us cultivate compassion, and that's so important in this day and age where we're so quick to judge and blame. So it helps us be more compassionate human being. It's a great one for relationships, not only attracting new relationships, but also existing relationships. Working with rose quartz is incredibly calming in a relationship and helps open up lines of communication and reminding us to come from a loving place, even when times are a bit more difficult. It's a great one for calmness and stress relief. In fact, it's one of the ones I recommend for people who have insomnia or have difficulty relaxing or sleeping. And it's a healing stone. So it's one of those healing stones that has a general broad basis. And my belief is that healing comes because it does calm down the body. And when I talk about the body, I don't just mean the physical, I mean the emotional and the mental body as well, those subtle energy bodies too. So rose quartz is a great one to go to for any of those things. The second stone for the heart chakra that I recommend is a very powerful stone called malachite, a stunning stone to look at. Look at those layers, it's so beautiful. It's a great one if you are an empath, if you feel that you just take on everybody's emotions and feel drained at the end of conversations. Malachite's a great one to protect you from that and help you still come from a loving, compassionate place, but not giving all your energy away when you do that. It's one of the unconditional love stones. So again, if you're looking for love or you need to cultivate more unconditional love, this is a really good one for you. It also has a great benefit of cleansing the aura. So as I said, the heart chakra is known to balance the other chakras. So malachite is also great to use because our entire subtle energy body is around us all the time. So it can help cleanse any destructive, non-serving energy that maybe is vibrating within your energy field. It helps from psychic protection. So we all know that sometimes we feel that someone's given us those dagger eyes or staring us down. Effectively, that ends up putting a bit of an energetic attack on us because it's throwing negative energy towards us, and our energy field will react to that. So malachite helps from those psychic attacks. It gives you protection. and it absorbs negativity. So if you do find that you're a bit down in the dumps or a bit gloomy, especially when it comes to matters of the heart and relationships, this is a great one to absorb the energy of that emotional reaction or mental reaction you're having, so that you can come afresh and look at things from a different perspective. It does represent healthy relationships, and it's very stabilizing. So a very strong heart chakra stone I recommend is malachite. Another side thing with malachite is it's the stone, you know, it's a really nice abundance stone, so it will help bring abundance as well. And finally, if you have the money, I thought I'd throw this one in, the emeralds. So I've got a picture here of a tumbled emerald. We're used to seeing them all polished up on jewelry, but the tumbled emeralds are actually really beautiful. They come in a variety of colors and are a little bit more affordable than the polished gems that we see normally. The emerald is the strongest crystal for self-love. And it's known to help restore relationships. So if you are having trouble in an intimate relationship or a family relationship, we know that working with emeralds can really have a strong effect on that by balancing your energy and allowing you to come from a much more self-aware, self-caring, self-nurturing, self-loving place, which in turn will have a reaction from the people you're having issues with. It calms our emotions, which is really important, because when we act or react, it's always from an emotional basis. So if we come from a place of calmness, it allows our reactions and our actions to be reciprocated by the person we're dealing with. And so it's very balancing for us as well. So working with emeralds can really bring all those relationship issues into balance and restore them. And we believe that emerald can actually heal a broken heart. So if any of you, I hope not, but if any of you are going through a difficult breakup or something's happened in a relationship where you feel heartbroken, working with emeralds is the strongest stone to help you restore that security you need through self-love, through self-awareness, in order for you to move forward and allow the past to just be where it is without having a negative effect on your future relationships. So the emerald's a beautiful one to work with, very strong for the heart chakra. Let's move up then to the throat chakra. So the throat chakra, the color is blue, represents communication and expression, but more than just how we're able to speak or hold an audience, it's about expressing your authentic truth. Speaking what you really need to say, and also not saying things that don't need to be said. Knowing when to be quiet, and also knowing when to listen and how to listen, more importantly. It most definitely represents our truth. And it's also a very inspirational throat chakra. It allows us to be inspiring for ourselves and others. So let's have a look at my 3 favorite stones for this. So first of all, turquoise. So I love this stone. It also happens to be my birthstone, so I'm naturally drawn to it, but the color I love. And it's all about self-expression and communication. It's a protective stone. You'll know from places even such as, you know, you'll see it all over, like in Egypt, for example, they have it on the, they have it in jewelry, and they have it also in the tombs to protect the pharaohs. It's such an incredibly strong stone. It's been used all over the world in most ancient cultures, and then moving forward into modern day for jewelry, because wearing turquoise feels incredible. And the reason is that it expresses our highest truth and connects us to our highest truth. So we feel good when we wear turquoise. It's a very harmonizing stone despite its power. So it can bring into harmony things in your life that are not going so well, how you communicate, how you represent yourself, how you express yourself, and how you allow others to do those same things towards you. Turquoise is great if you're shy. So any of you that have children that are a little bit shy, turquoise is a great one to help them come out of their shell. But also as adults, you know, public speaking, giving speeches, speaking up in a meeting can be quite difficult. So turquoise is a great one to help with that, because it also helps you express yourself with clarity. And I think that's often what happens is when we speak, we go off on tangents. And so the turquoise allows us to express ourselves clearly with focus and purpose. Another throat chakra stone, which I love, is aquamarine. Just happens that blue is my favorite color as well, I guess. So all these stones are really, really popular in my world. So again, self-confidence comes with aquamarine. It's a great one for public speaking, meetings, things like this. We also know that aquamarine helps overcome stress and anxiety. So if you're suffering from either of these things, just pick up a piece of aquamarine to help you overcome in a very balanced and calm way. It gives us a lot of courage, aquamarine, as well. So it allows us to come from real clarity in both our mental and verbal. So we'll be able to assimilate ideas and then clearly express those without any confusion in between. And it allows us to, again, to speak our highest truth. Now, this is the most important thing about the throat chakra, is knowing when not to speak and saying things that are truthful, not just to make people feel better or because we believe, you know, that if we say it, things will change. If it's not your truth, try not to say it, and you'll find that your throat chakra will balance down, and aquamarine can help you achieve that. It's a great one as well for open communication. So if there is an area of your life where you feel that the communication has kind of stagnated, or you don't feel able to openly express what you really feel deep down inside that you need to, aquamarine will be great for you in that respect. And then finally, Chrysocolla. So this is, again, a beautiful stone. It's a bit of a greeny, almost a little bit like turquoise in some respects with the colors, actually. And this is a great one for self-expression and communication, of course. But I love this one for listening. Like, when was the last time that you truly listened to someone and listened with full presence and awareness without thinking what you were going to say or how you were going to encourage them to carry on, but just listened to every word and then were just silent at the end while you took that in? So if you do find that your listening skills need a bit of a tweak, then this is a great stone for you. It's a lot about self-development, this stone, and finding your deepest wisdom. We are all our own healers. We are all our own guides, and this stone can help you discover that. So if you feel that you've gone off the path, you're not on your life's purpose, you don't know if you've got a purpose in life, this will be a great stone to sit with to help you rediscover those parts of yourself. And let's move on then to our sixth chakra, the third eye chakra, in between the eyebrows. The color is violet or purple. So this very much represents our intuition. It's our way of connecting to our all-knowing self. A lot of people I see actually have a lot of chaotic energy here because we are trained to come from logic, rational thinking, rather than just trusting that first feeling we have, which is always right for us. The third eye also allows us to have lucidity and understanding that is clear of what is going around us. It gives us self-trust, connection to people, but also, more importantly, this universal divine energy. And it's a great chakra for when we come into meditation and mindfulness practices. It's where we try and clear the mind in order to be present. And it most certainly is directly connected to spiritual awareness. So the stones I recommend here, my favorite coming first, of course, is amethyst. Amethyst is a phenomenal stone. I love working with it. It's also great for meditation and sleep. So if you have any issues with sleeping, place a piece of amethyst next to your bed, underneath your pillow. I'm sure it will help. Amethyst will help you connect to that intuitive part of yourself, that part that knows without knowing how you know. It will really help activate that within you whilst giving you mental clarity and focus. As I said, it's a great one for sleep, which means it's also great for calming stress and anxiety as well. And for any of you looking to kind of develop more spiritually, or even develop your psychic abilities and tap into that clairvoyant world, then amethyst is your go-to stone for that as well. Another stone I love for the third eye, I also actually use this stone for the throat chakra, it works well there as well, is Lapis Lazuli. This is an amazing one to activate your intuitive knowledge. And if you are looking to move into lucid dreaming, astral projection, your psychic abilities, this stone is very, very great for that. So those of you moving into that field, I would definitely grab a piece of Lapis Lazuli. Again, meditation, it's a good one because it does open up that part of ourselves so that we can see further than just this world, so that we can get some guidance, you know, from other realms or from the divine, or just tap into different types of universal energy. It's a very awakening stone. It will allow you to see aspects of yourself that perhaps have laid hidden or we've masked through the layers and layers we put on as we grow through life. And it's a great cleansing stone as well. So it cleanses blockages. So you can actually use Lapis Lazuli to cleanse all sorts of blockages, not only in the chakra system, but in your entire subtle energy system and the aura. And then Solidite is my third stone I recommend for the third eye. It's very great on integrating logic and intuition. And I think that's where most of us are in our development as humans right now. It's pretty difficult to live in just an intuitive way because we have life and we live in Dubai. So we're constantly being hit with distraction after distraction. And, you know, we're in a very, very complex society. And so this will allow you to come from your intuition, but use it in a logical way that will help you be an effective, you know, human being and part of society. Again, Solidite is a great one for that clarity you need and to find that life purpose, finding why we're really here and what makes us tick and what makes us happy. If you're meditating on that and contemplating that at the moment, Solidite's a great one to go to. Now, we know that the pineal gland, which is within our brain, is an incredibly important gland that secretes certain chemicals that allow us to access different realms, parts of our brain, which then puts out a frequency which helps us connect to other aspects of this incredible universe. So Solidite's great, again, if you're looking to access those deeper recesses of yourself, and then connect outwardly to universal energy. So it definitely integrates higher knowledge and is a great stone, again, if you want to go deeper and more expansive into meditation. And then let's look at the final one, the crown chakra. So this on the top of the head, the color is a violet or a white, like an ultraviolet color. And this most definitely represents the spiritual aspects of who we are and our connectedness and our oneness. It's our higher consciousness and is definitely representative of that higher wisdom. And in fact, when the crown chakra is balanced, it really does give us a high sense of fulfillment in all areas of our life. So let me go through some of the stones that will work to activate and help balance that energy field there. And clear quartz is the number one stone here. Clear quartz is actually known as the master crystal. Clear quartz is a cleansing stone. It empowers every other stone it touches. So you can use clear quartz with any of the other stones I've mentioned, and it will actually enhance their power. It expands our consciousness and can be used to communicate with your guides, with other energies or entities that you may choose to call upon, It's a very powerful stone indeed. It is a stone of prosperity as well, so it will help enhance prosperity in all aspects of your life whilst absorbing negative energy. So rather than allowing that energy to come towards you and even hook into your energy field, this will help absorb that so that negativity can't even come close. A cleansing crystal, as I said, and it will balance all chakras. And any of you looking to recall past lives, it's a great stone to work with for that too. And selenite is a beautiful soft stone. You can get some incredible sculptures at the Illuminations shop. It just blows my mind. We have angels and symbols, and we have wands, and it's just a magical stone. Very much used when working on a spiritual level. So all spiritual work and internal work, I recommend a piece of selenite here. Again, it's an absorption stone, so it will absorb negative energy, but it will help you open up your energy into the higher realms. So if you are looking to connect to your guides or the angelic realm, it's a great stone to work with. Again, just looking at this stone, not only has it got this real magical look about it, it's a very beautiful stone, it's also very calming and purifying, and another great meditation stone to bring to you if you're having trouble meditating. And then finally, Angelite. So I kind of put this one in because when we're connected, we are connected to this most incredible realm, and angels appear in every civilization, in every religion. They're non-dogmatic. They are an energy that helps us connect to the divine, or the macrocosm to the microcosm, whichever way we look at it, spiritually or scientifically. They're a great connective stone. So they have a lot of spiritual awareness about them. Again, they can help with telepathy, clairvoyance, and help you cultivate a more spiritual practice. Again, looking at the color, this pastel color is stunning. It's very healing, soothing, and comforting. And it's known to help you have divine contact with your guides and angels as well. So this is a great stone for the crown chakra, which very much connects us to the divine energy. So those are the 7 chakras, and 3 stones I recommend that you can reach out for each of those chakras, depending on where you are right now in your life and what you need to cultivate more of. And so what can you do with them? So very simply, you can choose one of those stones that represents something you want to cultivate, and you simply need to put that stone on the corresponding chakra. And it's as simple as that, because what we know is that stone has a vibration. You put that vibration on the chakra, and the chakra and the stone will start synchronizing. It's actually a physics law called the law of entrainment, which is one of the natural laws of physics. So they will start entraining and synchronizing and bringing that energy field, that chakra, into balance. So choose any of the stones that you are connected to, or that you want to bring that trait into your life or balance in your life, and just place it on the chakra point. If you want to do a complete chakra balance, go ahead. It's beautiful. Put on some chakra balancing music or a chakra balancing meditation. Place all the stones from the root up to the crown and lay there and just allow the stones to do their work. I definitely recommend at least 15 minutes though, if you're going to do that. And here's a picture of someone with some rather large crystals along her chakra line. You can hold the stones. So actually placing the stones on your skin is a great way to get that energy through all layers of your being. So you can either just hold them in your hands, or the guy's holding what we call a worry stone. And these are great because they're actually flat and shaped, and you can just rub your thumb along the stone. So not only are you bringing the energy of that stone into your energy fields and encouraging the chakra to synchronize with the energy of the stone, what you can also do is activate the pressure points in your thumb. And when you activate those pressure points, it actually will start deactivating the nervous system and activating the parasympathetic system. So it basically calms the mind. So using a crystal of your choice, depending on the traits you want to cultivate, you can rub it and also get a sense of calmness. Another way is to wear them as a form of jewelry, which is just stunning. So choosing any of the stones that you connect with and wearing them. It's recommended to try and have the stone itself on your body, so not having metal in between you and the stone. So bracelets or more naturally woven crystal necklaces, but a lot of crystal necklaces, they just have an outline of, say, silver, so that the actual stone itself will land. If you want to balance all your chakras, you can get some beautiful chakra balancing bracelets or necklaces as well that will activate all the chakras. And finally, display them. I have crystals all over my house and I move them all the time, depending on what I want to achieve in my environment. And in my social circle and in my relationship. So you can display them in any types of ways, something rather elaborate, like the one I've placed on the screen there. Or I also have these beautiful kind of pyramids with the terminated crystals coming out the side is another beautiful way. They look beautiful, but they're also going to be having an effect on your environment. And every time you look at those crystals, they will also enhance the frequency and remind you to bring yourself back into that trait you want to cultivate. So that's all I've got to say about crystals and chakras. I hope you found it interesting. Does anyone have any questions? Please feel free to ask.
Hey, hi Ingrid. Hi. Am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you. What's your question?
Great. Just about the solar plexus.
Yes.
We were talking about the crystals that you were telling us. How about the gold quartz? Do you recommend that one as well for solar?
100%. So I've just given 3 examples. There's so many, I mean, there's thousands of crystals. So my advice when choosing a crystal, specifically for chakras, is look at the color, because we know the frequency of that crystal is a similar frequency to the chakra frequency. So look at the color and then see which one you're drawn to. Or if you just have some already at home, absolutely no problem. Just choose the yellow one. So yeah, absolutely. Yellow quartz, golden quartz, all great for the chakra.
Lovely. And another question, you were talking about the crystal that helps the temper control in kids, right?
Yes, so you can use any of the calming crystals. So rose quartz is great for that, but amethyst will be great. You can use, you know, any of those calming colors will be really good for them. But also you can use like an orange calcite, which is the emotional one as well. That will be a great one to kind of bring a bit more brightness into it. But I would use some calming stones for children, and a nice big.
How would we? Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay. Yes, but how would you use them? Should I just place it under the pillow? Would
yeah, under the pillow, or you know, get a nice big chunk of it, like a nice hefty chunk, and just get them to hold it. Get them interested in crystals. And what's really interesting, I love working with children, because if you have a chakra set of crystals and see which ones they choose, because you can see whichever crystal they're drawn to, there's something going on in their life that's out of balance, and they're drawn to that crystal because they need some of that frequency. So it's very interesting working with them, with children and crystals, and they love them because children see things that we've forgotten to see as adults, and so they connect very easily with the energy of crystals, and they enjoy working with them. So yeah, you can either place these around, like in the area where they are, in their room, in their bedroom, in their bed, in the living area where they hang out, or just get them to hold them. Or buy a nice little piece of jewelry for them so they can wear it on a piece of, you know, a really slim piece of string with one small rose quartz a bead will be enough, you know. So just see which ways they can work with it, and see how calming that is for them.
Thank you so much. Just the last thing would be, how do you clean your crystals again? So,
yes, basically my go-to is putting it out every month in the full moon. But you can also use sea salt, salted water. You can use a carnelion or clear quartz. You can smudge with sage or Palo Santo. All these things work. My preferred method is every month I put out in the full moon, and then I reprogram the next day.
Yes, I do that too. I do keep them out on, yes, on the full moons always, but just another alternative if there was any. So sage and
sage,
the
Palo
rock
Santo,
salt.
sea salt, Himalaya salt, salted water. Just don't put selenite in salted water because it can damage the stone a bit, but most stones are fine. Yeah.
Great, great. Thank you so much. I think this
Welcome.
was
Thanks for
really
joining me.
informative. Yeah, thanks.
Take care. Okay, is anyone else? Thank you for those questions. They were great. Anyone else got any questions?
Hi Ingrid, this is Nandini.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good. How are you doing?
I'm well, thanks. How can I help?
Yes, thanks for the informative seminar. I wanted to check that how long, should a person wear a crystal or keep a crystal in close proximity till the best results are started to be visible?
Sure, no, that's a really interesting question because what you're going to find the more you work with crystals is that they're just going to leave you when the power is done. And it can be quite mysterious sometimes when you know you have the crystal next to the bed and now you just can't find it, or you've been wearing a necklace for 3 weeks and it just breaks. The crystals will absorb energy or emit energy or frequency until it's done, until it's synchronized that and balanced that chakra. So there's no time that I can tell you, but you will not want to wear the crystal if you're wearing it on your body, or you will just want to move the crystal when it's all done. But if you are using it for long term, I recommend you cleanse it every month in order for it to kind of recharge and re-energize.
Thank you. And if you're wearing some crystal, say for example, emerald, so is it like, should we keep wearing it continuously or we can remove it at night and again wear it in the morning?
If you've got something very specific that you're working on, I would recommend you wear it continuously. So if, we're looking very specifically today at chakras and crystals. And so if there's an area that you really need to balance, then I would wear it continuously until you just don't feel like wearing it anymore. And that will be the time for it to come off. Now, if that's not possible, then yeah, absolutely put it on whenever you are, whenever you can, and it will help. But you need that sustained energy in order to entrain the chakra or synchronize the chakra up to the frequency. So you need a kind of that stone on you for as long as possible in order for you to have the maximum effect on something that's quite big that's going on. If it's something that's quite small, doing a chakra balancing once a week may be enough. But again, it's about following your intuition and feeling, how do I want to work with this crystal? There's some crystals, some days I absolutely can't touch, and others I just want to hold close. So trust in that part. Does it feel good to wear this today or not? And honor that intuitive part of yourself. But if there is something very specific you're working on, wear it as much as possible until you know it's time to take it off. That's my advice.
Thank you. Thank you. And probably the last one for now from me would be, do these crystals have any kind of negative impact or negative energy, or all are purely with positive energy and healing energies?
Yeah, so that goes a little bit too deeply into crystal healing, but on the whole, and the crystals I've mentioned, they can't do anything wrong. There's very, very few crystals that can have an effect that's not negative, but it can have different effects. But the crystals I've mentioned tonight are absolutely high vibration. They're not going to have any negative effect. And it's only a few crystals that kind of we have to think differently about. But that's something for kind of level 3 of my crystal course. It's very detailed stuff. But most crystals will like the majority, 99% of crystals are just pure high vibration. They can't do anything negative at all. And as long as you kind of clean them and use them in the way that you intend them, because intention is key, you will be absolutely fine. They're high vibration, beautiful, jewelry from Mother Nature, right? They're magical to work with. I've never had any negative impact from working with crystals, ever, not one, for me or my clients.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And any specific weight for the crystals, like or
Yes,
generic?
I put it on there. So I've got level 1 of the crystal talk is on, level 1 of the certified crystal and chakra balancing is on the 13th of August. And then level 2 we're hoping to do in September, and that's practitioner level, and level 3 is actually up to master level. But level 1 is the foundation course where you'll get a lot of information about chakra balancing and crystal healing, and it's been approved by the Dubai Department of Knowledge. So, it's a proper certified course. It's fantastic. I just wrote it actually when I came to Dubai, specifically after being here and seeing there was a need for this deep understanding. So it'd be lovely if you joined me.
Thank you so much, and great. Perfect. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Great.
Thank you.
Right. Any more questions from anyone? All right, guys. Well, you can see that there's a few things coming up for me on the screen. I've got another free webinar on crystals. This is crystals for zodiac signs. That's on the 3rd of August. Apart from that, I've got some Reiki courses, some meditation coming up as well. So hopefully I get to meet you guys in person at some point. I do give a free 30-minute consultation at JLT Illuminations, or 20 minutes free online. So if you do want to have a chat, please do make an appointment through Illuminations. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. So have a good evening.